Black Clover chapter 247 was quite surprising. It was a very well detailed chapter and actually improved on the world building project which Tabata explained quite well in last chapter. So we got to see Dante's plan and actually know what his intentions were. Add to that the clear references on Berserk, Neon Genesis Evangelion and Fullmetal Alchemist. You can clearly see the inspirations in this chapter, and that's what actually shocked me, because we know that Tabata is inspired from many series and it's cool to see him use his own way of describing things we've actually seen in the past. So it's cool when he does it well, and I hope that he actually is able to make this out even more entertaining. What actually shocked me in this chapter was the fact that the chapter was well written. I would say before I begin the analysis that this is definitely one of the best chapters we've had in a while because of the world building aspects and actually the multiple possibilities that the chapter has actually opened up. So here is Black Clover chapter 247 analysis. Guys, this video is going to contain massive spoilers, so if you do not want to be spoiled, please read the chapter then come back and watch this video. That said, let's analyze the chapter. So last chapter we ended with Yami and Dante fighting, and Yami slashed Dante with his AI slash. Now Yami actually explained why he was able to slash Dante and ended up by telling us that the AI slash never misses in an area of condensed mana zone. Anyone who knows what mana zone is would definitely understand why the AI slash will never miss. That means that Yami actually forced Dante into getting into his mana zone and then slashed Dante from within the mana zone, which therefore means that there was no way Yami was going to miss this attack within the mana zone. Of course, these are fan translations, so I hope that these are the correct translations. If not, I will try to do an update video on these and actually give you guys my thoughts on what Yami was saying. That said, we actually got to see Dante express many emotions. First was jealousy, hatred and fury. We see that he's actually been gaining more and more emotions towards Yami because first, he actually expressed himself as being jealous of Yami because he had many arcane stage mages working under him. Then now he seems to have hatred and fury towards Yami. But we all have to remember that fury comes as a result of him getting slashed. We know what happened last time and it seems Dante has been holding back. But what actually enabled us to see that he has been holding back is the fact that he actually got his body morphing and it seemed to heal his wound. Now Vanessa actually alludes to the fact that he's using a different power from that which he used previously, so she might be alluding to the fact that Dante is using a different type of magic from what he's been using, or should we say that he's probably using a healing spell from a different type of magic, completely different from gravity magic, which would make a lot of sense since we do not have confirmation that Lucifero's magic is exactly gravity magic. That would mean that Zeno and Vanica as well have dual magic affinity, a magic attribute which seemed to only be affiliated with those whom the kingdom were experimented upon, and the most important example of this would be that of Fana and Mars. So if that is the case, then this would mean that these guys are even more broken than how they used to be. You guys recall that Naruto from the Naruto manga actually had this ability as well, as he could use his normal chakra and could borrow chakra from Kyuubi. So we can clearly see the reference there if that's what Tabata is trying to allude to. But I think that given his take on things, there might actually be a drawback, or at the very least a different touch to that simple concept. So I think that this could actually mean that that spell could have definitely been a forbidden magic spell. This could actually be one of Lucifero's abilities he's borrowing, and that could also be backed by the fact that the symbol on his chest began to blink or glow. So that definitely might mean that he and Lucifero have different magic types. Like I said, that is a broken nature if he does. That actually shows also why Asta is even more special, because his anti-magic devil could definitely not find any other host than Asta, since he is the only one in the verse who is void of mana or able to control mana. So that is an important point to note. That said, Dante begins to tell us about his grand plan, and before that we get to see his flashback. Initially I had hoped that Dante was going to get some sort of tragic past, but it appears he seems to be much more of a guy who was void of emotions, and pretty much explains why Dante is enjoying himself in this battle with Yami, since he's experiencing emotions he never had before. In fact, even killing Lord Ciel was not enough to bring out emotions from Dante. We saw him in a bed with a girl and she seemed lifeless, so it definitely must imply what Dante must have done to her. And it's important to note as well that Dante seemed to have been in the Spade Kingdom army for a while, so him killing Lord Ciel never actually drew up any emotions, and probably Lucifer tempted him and he fell for it. We'll talk about that in a sec. Like I previously made mention of in my past analysis videos, I think that Lucifer tempted Dante and made him believe that the initial conception of the world as it is not the way it's supposed to be, and in order to make Dante taste more emotions, the best thing for him was, of course, to have him taste evil emotions, and the only way to do that was to act evil and have this grand plan of pretty much uniting the realms. We'll talk about that in a sec, and that is Lucifer's goal, and the reason why Dante is acting this way is pretty much because he has been brainwashed. I don't know about Zeno, I don't know about Vanica, but it is clear that those two devils who possess them have actually also probably brainwashed them into thinking that way or have allied themselves into Dante's thoughts. That said, Dante wants to merge the realms and pretty much open the Clover tree, and the Clover tree seems to be the antithesis of the tree of Sephiroth or the tree of life, which would mean that the Clover tree would obviously be the tree of death. And of course, when we talk about death, we talk about devils, and I think that this part of the chapter actually requires a pretty much detailed video on its own. That's why I'm not going to delve deep into it, but what I'm just trying to say here is that Dante wants to combine the devil realm and the world of the humans, or if not, should I say, break open a portal from the devil world to the world of the humans so that the devils can flood in. And that's exactly what Dante says, and you can clearly see that Yami is shocked as well. He himself has experienced first-hand fighting a superior devil, and just imagine that that devil required multiple mages to take on and finally kill. So it definitely means that this is an even greater problem than it initially was, and that's why I believe that the time is now, and it's important for Yami to act fast. He really does want to kill Dante here and now so that he can end this before it actually is set into motion. But what is surprising is the fact that he does not know that Dante is still hiding a couple of tricks under his sleeve, because this guy is still at 60%. So I believe that in the next few chapters, Dante will probably knock out Yami, or at the very least capture him and another member of the Black Bulls. But I hope that the others get the opportunity to escape, because Infernal and Henry together with Gosh would probably pretty much be in danger and could be killed. So I hope that that actually is the case, and I think that Tabata highlights this well and would pretty much correlate with the reasons why within the Spade Kingdom there seems to be a Black Bull member who has been a spy. Now what this Black Bull member has been doing will pretty much be revealed in another video. I'm going to try to make that video early next week so you guys can actually get the context of how Julius's grand plan worked. But then it's important to note that this guy uses shadow magic and was pretty much able to take out the person that discovered he was a spy the moment he did so, and in the process he pretty much also discovered the plan of Dante, and this could actually be the spy that has been feeding information to Julius Novacron and telling him about the Spade Kingdom. He must have been in the Spade Kingdom for a while to get into Dante's chambers, because he seemed to have gotten this after Dante left, so he's pretty much a very smart person. I think that the general conception in the community is that he's a girl or she is a girl, but that has not yet been confirmed by Tabata. But it is clear that when we're showing the portraits of the Black Bull members, Tabata had already foreshadowed this character, and it's cool to see that shadow magic could indeed be arcane stage magic, so it's important to note that as well. That said, since this guy has intel on Dante's grand plan, I think that the Clover Kingdom would be notified immediately on what the Zograti siblings plan, and I believe that this information needs to get to the ears of those who can help. In this case, we have Apostles of Sephiroth here who are left from last arc. Those are Petri, Veto, Raya, and Fana, and these guys can help. Let's not forget that the antithesis to the Clover tree is the tree of Sephiroth, which is of course taken from the Jewish Kabbalah. So it's important to note that these guys could actually provide intel on devils and where they come from. Let's not forget that Petri was able to spot Zaquid and describe him to be a devil. Let's not also forget that leak swords were tied to devils as they were named after devil destruction. So it's important to note that these guys must have had in one way or another ties to devils or information regarding devils. Lumiere on the other hand only knew about devils because he read it from a book, so humans haven't had that much of information when it comes to devils, but elves have. So it's important to note that these elves could actually provide information that is required for us to know. Let's not also forget that Tabata did show that there were current elves living in the current time, so it's important to get information from those elves as well. And there could also be new Apostles of Sephiroth introduced later on in the story, so I think that this is very important for the story going forward, because initially even if Dante is able to open the portal, they need to close the portal. And how would they do this? I believe the magic stones and the stone tablet could actually play a role, as we saw that the Way of Sephira opened the door to the Shadow Palace. Let's not forget that Yunus Pendant also has a magic stone, which seems to be the final pedestal, and I think that this pedestal will also play a very important role in the future. So let's hope that these combined could actually stop the advancement of the plan, or at the very least close the portal once it's open. That said, devils could leap in and out of this world to the other, so it's important that these guys also try to stop them from achieving their goal, or else we all know what would happen. We know of 4 superior devils as of yet, but there could be more, and let's not hope that these guys get into the world of the humans. The last thing I'd like to talk about this chapter is also Asta's devil going nuts in this chapter. It seems he actually resents the other devils, as he said he won't forgive and he'll kill. So it's important to note that Asta was able to break out of this simply because he saw Gosh and Gosh was okay. So let's not forget that the devil of Asta seems to have a problem with other devils, and at this point they call him Anvil in the Black Clover community, and that's what I'll be calling him henceforth. So let's say that Anvil has a grudge against the other devils. We don't know why, probably because of discrimination, but I think that it could actually be because he was a superior devil and was cast to the rank of trash because he couldn't use magic. That said, I still believe that Anvil might have ties to the demonic creature League became once he actually absorbed negative mana, which is termed the demon god. So I hope that that could be the case, and I'm working on a theory on that. That said, I'll be making a wide scale theory on the possible links and possibilities. You guys should also stay tuned and try to watch my video on the race wars, because I think that bit by bit the pieces of the puzzle are assembling, and this could actually pave the way to what happened greater than 500 years ago in the world of the Black Clover verse. So those were my thoughts on the chapter. Let me know yours in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel to become part of the Blizzard Queen. As always, I'll catch you guys later. Bye.